fermented meat products are usually made of 2/3 of low-fat cuts and 1/3 of fat cuts. Tendons and connective tissues are removed from the meats and subsequently cut in pieces. These meat cuts should present total microbial counts below 10 to the 5th colony forming units per gram. Listeria, monocytogenes, and Salmonella have to be absent, and the pH should be between 5.5 and 6. The raw materials have to be stored under refrigerated conditions in order to reduce the growth of spoilage microorganisms. Low-fat cuts between 0 and 2 degrees and fat cuts between -2 and 0 degrees. Moreover, the refrigeration will facilitate the following phase of the grinding. After storage at refrigeration temperatures, the meat is subjected to grinding. It is possible to differentiate fine-grained grinding between 1 to 4 millimeters and coarse-grained grinding between 4 to 14 millimeters, based on the type of sausage that has to be produced. The mixture of ingredients that is added is different depending on the type of sausage to produce. Several ingredients may be used: salt, sugars, spices, additives, mainly represented by sodium nitrate and nitrite, added together with salt as so-called curing salt, and finally ascorbic acid. Moreover, at this stage, the addition of starter cultures can also be carried out. In the case of coarse-grained sausages, a kneading step is necessary to distribute homogeneously the ingredients and the fat in the meat portion. This phase has to be carried out at a temperature below 6 degrees and in a time less than 5 minutes. One relevant risk associated to the kneading is the raise of the temperature, resulting in the liquefaction of the low melting fats and the subsequent occurrence of defects associated. After 24 hours at refrigeration conditions, important for the diffusion of the salt and for the color formation, the meat batter is filled into casings, not without checking with pH control that the refrigeration phase has gone properly. The stuffing machine works under vacuum, thereby avoiding the inclusion of air bubbles that can be responsible for oxidations and growth of spoilage microorganisms. Natural or artificial casings can be used for the filling process. In both cases, certain characteristics need to be taken into consideration, such as good porosity and a suitable hardness and elasticity. After filling, the sausage is tied. This step can be carried out manually for traditional products or automatically through specific machines, often associated with the filling equipment. Finally, the sausages are weighed for the subsequent shrinkage control during fermentation and ripening. The fermentation is conducted in temperature and humidity control rooms or chambers for 2 to 5 days. In the first 1-2 days of fermentation, lactic acid bacteria responsible for the acidification process are characterized by a fast growth. A drying process is following for 2 to 3 days, in which a decrease in the water activity is recorded, allowing a better preservation of the product. The lactic acid fermentation ends at this point. The last phase of ripening after fermentation lasts from a couple of weeks to several months, depending on the dimensions of the sausages. At the end of this step, the pH of the sausages increases due to proteolytic activities, and the product possesses specific organoleptic characteristics such as flavor and taste.